Welcome and good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day, afternoon, or evening, depending where it is where you're tuning in from today. So we are here tonight with the GT Champions World Cup Season 3 GTC4 Division, ladies and gentlemen. And we are here for Round 3. I am your host, Tim Gray, or our Ghost 45 is known on screen. And this is presented by RWB Racing and sponsored by Detailing Group Incorporated, the main sponsor here for the World Series the World Cup, championship this season. And we are at Lago Maggiore West today, and it is open round for the GR4 cars, ladies and gentlemen. So this is going to be a fantastic race. And also a big shout out to our other sponsors, Metropolis, Hypre, and Pride of the Dragon. Of course, you can find all those on the website there. If you go over to www.gtchampions.com, ladies and gentlemen, there's information, all the information you need about the league, the sponsors, everything is there. And thank you for tuning in. So we have a little bit of juiciness for you. We got something a little special today for everybody. Alright, so as you can see, we have a cameraman down on the track before this race is going to take off, ladies and gentlemen. So, we're going to do a little bit of a walk through the grid order, so to speak, before the race starts today. A little treat for the viewers out there, and we appreciate it. But we're going to go over some of the details of the race here first before, of course, we give the cameraman the A-OK to do that, of course. So, he's just sitting here admiring that first place car. So again, ladies and gentlemen, we're at Lago Maggiore West. We're over in Italy. This is a fictional original track to Gran Turismo. It's been around since basically the beginning of Gran Turismo. It's one of the featured tracks. Cameraman's getting antsy, so we better get through this, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so because this is GR4 class today, ladies and gentlemen, we are on 2 times tire wear and 2 times fuel consumption for this race. And of course, again, like every round, the drivers are required to use the racing soft tires and the racing medium tires. And 1 set of each is required. So the drivers will basically do 1 stint on 1 tire, and then when the pit window opens, they will jump into the pits at some point in time during that window and swap over to the other compound of tire, throw some fuel in the tank, and continue on their race. The pit window, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, is from 50 minutes remaining in the race until 40 minutes remaining in the race. So the drivers have a 10-minute window to make their pit stops, change their tires, and fill their cars up for the last half of the race. Open spot, you see. Our pole sitter's just sitting right there. And of course our starting grid, ladies and gentlemen. So let's take a little walk through on our starting grid here. So we have in our pole today, ladies and gentlemen, and of course here at GT Champions, the starting grid's done a little bit differently than you'd expect. The starting grid is done based off of the driver's fastest lap of the race in the previous race. So each driver's fastest lap gets recorded, and based off of that, it goes from the slowest lap of the race up top to the fastest lap of the race in the back. Now in this case, Formula One disconnected during round 2, very unfortunately, so he gets pole position for this race. So it's kind of like a ooh, I'm sorry that happened to you. Here, let's throw you on the pole. So hopefully he can make that work today, and hopefully he has a fantastic race. We're moving up into second place here. We got Noam 007. He's in the NSX today, ladies and gentlemen. So we have a McLaren and an NSX already, we're seeing. We're going to keep moving up the grid here. We've got Picteca here in third place. He's chosen to go with Lamborghini. That high pre-Lamborghini right there. We're going to go over to right here, fourth place, Astro Pancake in the Scirocco. Bold choice taking a front-wheel drive today, as we all know that front-wheel drive cars are very, very tough on the tire wear. We have Stangman here in fifth place. He is in that Mustang, ladies and gentlemen. That is a very interesting choice. Very different cars today. We have another McLaren here with Jet starting in sixth place. We have, moving forward, we got to get the cameraman moving. He's loving the liveries, ladies and gentlemen. Nice, beautiful orange car here in seventh place with BA Dubs, pardon me. Moving to eighth place here, we have Devon Calypso in that Renault, that Megane Trophy. Beautiful little car, nice body package. Moving further up the grid, we have Walk Motorsports starting in ninth, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely gorgeous, shiny livery there on track as well. And then we move over to our 10th place driver, Marchie Boy, in that Dodge Viper. So interesting choice here by Marchie Boy with the Viper. Nice to see one on track. And again, another Renault with Toolshed starting in 11th. Moving up the field, we have Ghost 45 here, opting again with a front-wheel drive as well, taking the Audi, so that should be interesting. We have Viper starting in 13th in that BMW. And Spider Team, our fastest driver on the track last week in round 2, finishing the back of the pack in 14th place. So we're going to get the driver, get that cameraman off track. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we are 100% going to start this race for you. We're going to flip over to the juicy "let's get this race going" screen. Welcome to the race, everybody, and let's get this going. So the race is green and the drivers are off, and we see Picteca getting a very great start here at the beginning. Great launch with that Lamborghini as he's taken first place. Formula One dropping back to third as we see our second place driver here now, Stangman, getting ahead of Formula One. So Formula One dropping back 2 spots right off the bat on the pole here. We have Philly Jet trying to get inside, coming into turn 3 here. He just can't quite, so he's dead tucked in behind Formula One. Looks like everybody got through nice and clean here. We have Dubs and Noam here now filing in, with Walk Motorsports getting in behind them as well. We also have Viper now gaining a couple positions with that Renault. Let's go check out this big banky corner as we're coming down mid-pack here. Great shot coming down the hill here as we're with our driver Noam here. And Walk Motorsports goes inside. Ooh, a little bit of contact there. Oh, he gets his driver spun out. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if everybody gets through. A little bit of a cluster there. Looking like just the 2 drivers for the most part involved there. Definitely some position swapping around there as we see Ghost moving up there. We have Spider Team jumping up a few positions there as well. Marchie Boy dropping one. Astro dropping several positions there. He was starting in 4th place, so he's back in 12th there. Dove's dropping back, of course, after the incident there. We'll have to see if he opts to take a pit there. We're not sure if he's got damage or not. And Motorsports here as well, getting a little bit anxious, maybe going to the big banky corner there, and looking like he just kind of missed his braking point a little bit there, and a little bit of chaos at the beginning of this race. But Formula One now maintaining the lead of the race back here, so trying to get a very early gap on the drivers. And as I'm going through the drivers here, I am seeing an interesting strategies playing out. We don't have all the drivers on the same tire compound to start this race like we much did in the first race. As we see Motorsports here coming in, probably to fix some damage. Also Calypso coming in, maybe getting involved in that incident a little bit, doing some damage as well by the looks of it there. We didn't see the fuel can in the car. So both these drivers looking like they got a little bit of time to make up very early on in the race here. We're unfortunate for them, but again, ladies and gentlemen, it is a 90-minute race. 90 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, 90 minutes. Lots of time. So we are with our early leader here, very early on. We are on lap 2 now. The drivers will start to kind of settle in a little bit. We have Formula One, we have Jet in that McLaren. So right now, McLaren is sitting 1 and 2 as we see everybody on a purple lap because it's only lap 2. That BMW of Viper now in 3rd place. Viper has gained a substantial amount of places, 10 positions now at the beginning of this race for Viper, as he has very quickly climbed through the field. Stangman now sitting in 4th. Ghost also, with a 5.5 second penalty there, so we're going to keep our eye on that, make sure he bleeds that off. A little bit ugly there. Trying to get out of the way of the traffic, losing 3 or 4 positions himself there. We have Noam now making a move there as well, with Astro following him through, dives inside to try and get the move done on Noam here. Is he going to be able to make that stick? No, Noam gets a really good drive through that first corner there and just denies Astro of any opportunity. And Marchie Boy does try to go outside on Ghost there, but he isn't able to make that stick. There is a lot going on track here right now. So we have Spider Team here too. We're trying to find the battles on track here. Woo! Alright, so at the front of the pack here, Jet now dropping back a spot to Viper as well. So we're going to stick with this here real quick. As we come into the big bank right-handing hairpin, this is a fun corner, ladies and gentlemen. You can take this at a pretty substantial, and maybe a little bit of lag there from Jet as we see him ghosted there. I'm not sure what that was about. And Spider Team now sitting in 5th place, also starting at the back of the pack, so making up some substantial ground very early on in this race as well. Toolshed making up some great ground as well in that Renault. Now trying to tuck in behind Spider, as the McLaren does have quite a bit more straight line pull than that Renault does. So Toolshed is definitely going to want to try and stick as close as he can to that car through the technical sectors to get his draft on the straighter sections to keep up with that McLaren, because the McLaren will pull away. Lamborghini, another strong car in the straight line as well. We have Noam in that NSX in 8th place, doing very well here very early on. Astro Pancake now starting to regain some of that ground he lost early on in the race with that Scirocco, as he's in 9th place there, and going to potentially maybe make a move on the outside of Noam here. Both drivers getting very close to each other. They were doing a really good job, and he just gets in ahead. So really good move by Astro there early on in the race. We see Ghost going really wide behind Noam there. It doesn't look like he lost anything there, but again, Marchie Boy looks like he's going to take a look here again, so let's get with this real quick. No, Ghost closes the door on him there. Alright, let's go see if we can find some more battles here. We have Formula One. Formula One is starting to develop a bit of a gap here on the 2nd place driver, Viper, so it's absolutely his job this early on in the race now is to try and get as much of a distance between him and the rest of the field as possible. And no pressure means just good, clean, fast laps, hopefully, for Formula One, and a good, strong race to the pit window. We have Jet here in 3rd place. We see Stagman putting some pressure on him here, and Spider Team just in the background of these two drivers. So we're going to stick with this battle here real quick. And we see Spider Team go inside of Stagman there as we go into this double right-hander here. He has the position, so now is a little bit of touch there, a little bit of a touch with Jet there. Is looked like just a little bit earlier on the brakes than maybe Spider was expecting there. And they come around one behind another as Stagman is potentially losing another position here now to what's going on here? Oof, Toolshed's already got the pass done. These guys are just giving her. I can't even keep up. Holy moly, this pack is really racing hard here in the mid-pack. These guys are putting on a show right now as we still see Toolshed getting ahead of Spider. And now a whole bunch coming into corner one. We see 6, 7 cars coming into corner one. Ooh, how's everybody going to take this? Ooh, everybody hold on. Oh, and all the drivers doing a really good job getting through there. I don't see any cars spinning out. I don't hear any screeching tires. There was about 8 cars coming through corner 1 and 2 there. So really good job by all the race crews there. As we see the 2 drivers in the earlier incident, they're now starting to catch up to the back end of the pack there as well. So they are pushing to make up some time. And Formula One taking a very, very deep entry into that corner. Driver just taking advantage of the track limits here at GT Sport, ladies and gentlemen. There's no penalty for that. So he is just taking the best optimal line for him through that corner. We have Viper there as well in 2nd. Now we have Toolshed who just made a pass for 3rd place here. And look at this. There's just cars everywhere right here, ladies. This mid-pack is crazy right now. We have Toolshed, we have Jet right behind him, we have Spider Team behind them. And then we can see Ghost and Pancake in the background, and then 3 other drivers just off in the distance behind them. So Toolshed right now is just trying to get that distance coming through the technical sector, because that's where this Renault really excels, is coming through these winding corners. It can really carry a lot of speed. We're going to see what's happening in the back here. We now have Jet and Spider Team side by side with Ghost behind Jet, and Astro looking to see which one of these is going to be the faster line right now. As Ghost goes to go down inside, but realizes Astro is there and backs back out, tucks back in behind Jet. So now Astro has the inside line coming into turn 1. Again, can these drivers make it through safe and sound here? Ooh, Jet is hard on the brakes. Astro gets through, Jet gets through, Ghost gets through, Spider Team gets through. Spider's going to go on the inside of Ghost here now, trying to make the move. Is he going to make that move stick? They are side by side coming into corner 3. Not the optimal place to drive side by side. Yeah, really good job. They're really close to touching each other, those 2 drivers, but good job getting through that corner alive. Spider Team taking a little bit of curb there, so really fortunate not to lose the balance of the car there, as Pictec is now coming in on the back end of this battle as well, as we are coming in the big banking corner here again. So let's get up to Jet, who's making a move on Astro coming into this right-hand corner here. So let's see if Astro opts to try and make a cutback, and absolutely grabs that apex, and a beautiful cutback move by Astro Pancake on Jet there, and just denies Jet of taking that position down the straightaway. Now Ghost is all over the back end of Jet. Well, what a battle these guys are having in the midfield here. So Ghost is now going to try and see if he can get around Jet and take advantage of that. And we can see Spider Team in a Whole train of cars, ladies and gentlemen, all waiting for one of these drivers to make a mistake. Ghost is all over the back of Jet right now. Jet is opting to take a really short line through those corners, maybe a bit of a defensive line, and you can just see the cars lining up to wait. So we're going to stick with this. Ghost opts to go outside here. Woo! And just carries enough speed in that Audi to get ahead of Jet. So Jet tucks back in. Spider's now going to go down on the inside of Jet here coming into corner one. Oh my god, these two guys are swapping positions every corner, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Alright, so the drivers are going through. Jet goes a little bit wide there. Oh, Ghost goes a little wide. Spider team gets a little bit short. Gets into that grass. Spider team does spin there. Oh, really unfortunate. You can't go 3 wide through that corner, and the drivers really tried hard there, but unfortunately the 2 drivers on the outside of Jet, they're unable to hold their track, and both drivers eating a little bit of grass there. So we'll have to see how all that settles when it's sorted out. So we have Formula One in first place. We have Viper in second. We've still got Toolshed doing a really great job here in that Renault in third place. We've got Pancake now trying to chase him down in that Scirocco in fourth. Now this car is absolutely blazing fast in a straight line, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty quick in the corners too, but again, front wheel drive, tire wear could factor into this race for these guys today. So we do have Ghost here now sitting in 5th place, looking like Ghost got through the 3 wide incident the best out of corner 1 and 2 there, as we see Stangman coming out behind that. We've got now Marchie Boy looking like he benefited pretty well from that, and Picteca just behind him in that Lamborghini. We have Noam here in that NSX doing a fantastic job so far in this race, ladies and gentlemen. Very new player to the game. He's only been sim racing here on Gran Turismo Sport for a couple of months, so he's doing a fantastic job here on track with these guys. And every little bit counts, every little bit's experience. He looks like he's really having fun out there. And Jet is just pushing that McLaren. As you can see him almost drifting around that corner as Spider Team's starting to come into the picture here, putting some pressure back on Jet. And then we have Calypso, Dubs, and Motorsport just trailing the back end of all this. Again, some of the drivers involved in a very early incident early on in the race here. So hope everybody's enjoying the broadcast so far. Who you guys cheering for? Who you guys want to win this race? Who's your favorite driver? What's your favorite livery so far on track? We got Viper here in second, doing a fantastic job. Now, Viper won round 2 at Spa, ladies and gentlemen, and had an absolutely fantastic race. So looking to repeat that performance at Spa from round 2 here in round 3, and absolutely doing everything he can to catch that first place driver, Formula One, in that McLaren. So we'll see how that progresses as the race goes on. We now have Toolshed here also in that Renault pushing, having a good solid race last week as well. So looking to repeat that, and hoping to catch the front 2 drivers himself as well as this race progresses. We have Astro Pancake here in 4th place in that Scirocco, trying to hunt him down in 3rd place and try to take that 3rd place spot away from him. And looking like he's just slowly, bit by bit, gaining time there. And then we have Ghost behind him, absolutely trying to catch them. So we have a few drivers that have some space between them at the moment. But then we got this battle here in the mid-pack that's just been ongoing since the beginning of the race, for 8 laps. We see Marchie Boy going inside on Stangman here. Let's see if the Dodge Viper is going to get this done on the Mustang, ladies and gentlemen. As Marchie Boy goes inside on Stangman and absolutely just makes that move stick. Stangman opts to go a little bit on the outside and try to cut that corner, trying to maybe get a cutback response done here. Marchie going a little bit wide, so Stangman does get inside on turn 3 here. He just can't make that stick. He got a little bit of curve there, and I think it unsettled the car on him there, so he's going to tuck back in behind Marchie Boy for the time being and wait for the next opportunity, hopefully, to get a move done. We're not going to leave these guys here yet. Look at all the drivers as we're coming into the big bank corner coming up to the right here. So let's see if anybody tries to make a move here. Marchie goes semi-defensive here, opts to take the inside line. And, whoa, Picteca's looking inside of Stangman here now with that Lamborghini as he's going to try and get this done. So let's jump on Chase Cam. Oh yeah, as Picteca now tries to chase Stangman down here. So, good little battle here for 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th place, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, he gets into the brakes. He's braking much later. He gains a ton of time on the back end of that Mustang of Stangman there. So, absolutely racy. These guys are racy today, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely love this. Good, clean racing. We don't see anybody really smashing anybody. The first lap was just everybody's going hard and trying to get that early position. And It happens, guys. It's racing. Everybody's on track. No harm, no foul. Everybody's back to it. And these guys have just been putting on a show since. So, great stuff by all the drivers so far. As we can see, Spider Team now coming in on Picteca here as he's going to look inside. Is he going to try and make a move here? Picteca opts to go wide. So Spider Team going to try and take advantage here. But that does give Picteca the inside line coming around corner 2. But Spider Team gets a really good line through there. Gets a good run. And he's just going to pull ahead coming into corner 3. And he's going to make that move stick. So Picteca's now going to be trying to chase Spider Team down to get that position back as they swap positions for 7th and 8th place. And we have Noam here still in 9th place doing a great job. We have Philly Jet all over the back end of him at the moment right now. So let's see if he's going to try and get a move done coming into the big bank corner here. And Noam taking a very, very good defensive line through their catches at Apex. Just does not give Jet anything to work with there. So just forcing him to stay behind for a few more corners yet. Absolutely great stuff by all these drivers. So we have Calypso here now starting to gain on the back end of this battle between Jet and Noam, and in that Renault as well. And Walk Motorsports has gotten around Dubs here at some point recently in the race. So now he's trying to chase down, as he can see Calypso just going around the bend there. And then we have Dubs here just heading up the back end of the pack here, having a little bit of a struggle early on in the race perhaps. So Formula One, ladies and gentlemen, still leading our race. We're at lap 11. A little bit of a position swap early on lap 1 there, but did manage to get that position back on lap 1. So basically been leading the race the duration up to this point so far. The High Pre guys have the best livery, so says Picteca over there on YouTube. Maybe a little bit biased, he says. Absolutely beautiful stuff by all the drivers. As we see Average Viper, his teammate here, actually rocking one of those High Pre liveries right there, ladies and gentlemen. The gentleman who does all the graphics here for GT Champions as well. So massive shout out to High Pre. And for more information, to learn more about High Pre or how to find High Pre, just take a look up over in the top side of the screen there. As you can see, we have a banner for High Pre there so you guys know how to find them if you need any graphic work done. So we have Ghost Terror really starting to gain on Astro here. I'm not sure where all that time came from. As we've seen, these drivers had a pretty significant gap, so I'm not sure if Astro maybe made a mistake at some point here that we just missed it. So we're going to note that, and we're just going to keep looking through the field here as we have Marchie Boy now in 5th, starting to pull away from that little bit of a mid-pack battle that was going on for the first 8 or 9 laps of the race here. Looks like the drivers are kind of starting to settle in. The Spider Team now back up into 7th place after that little bit of a spin in turn 1. And we see Noam here going to go inside on Picteca, and Jet's going to go inside on Noam. So Noam gets to move down on Picteca, and now Jet's going to try and get inside on Noam for the pass. Stagman's looking inside on Picteca. Man, this mid-pack battle has been fantastic so far in this race, ladies and gentlemen. Stagman's going to tuck in behind Picteca. Noam's ahead of Jet. He tucks in behind him. And, man, Calypso's looking inside now to make a move on these drivers as they're almost 3 wide again through these corners. All the drivers get through. Noam does get passed by Jet there. Picteca trying to hold off of Calypso now, trying to get a move done on the outside, coming to corner 3. Stagman trying to take advantage of this, trying to get the inside of Calypso to get the move done on Calypso. These drivers are swapping positions at almost every corner. Oh my goodness, what? Look at these guys, all nose to tail right now, coming up into the big banky corner. We are absolutely sticking with this coming up into this corner, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see who comes out ahead. Yeah, we got some headlight flashing here. That looks like the drivers are really having some fun with this great clean racing so far in this battle, as he's really going to take a short line through there. Maybe a little cautious line just to make sure there's no contact. We have so many drivers going through there, but Calypso does get a really good run coming through the corners. He does take a more deeper line, and that is absolutely the best line to take through the big bank corner there. Big banky boy, as many drivers call it, is to take that corner right deep on the apex. You actually come out with a lot more speed. So we see Motorsports now in this battle here as well, as he's coming up to the back of the pack, and then we have Dubs not that far behind either. So the driver is really fighting it out here in the early stages. We see Juan having just a slight little glitch there. Hopefully everything's okay with Juan. Again, he did have disconnect in the previous race, so hopefully that's not the case for him here tonight, as he is in the lead of the race and doing a really good job so far. As again, we're on lap 13 now, ladies and gentlemen, and drivers are just doing a fantastic job. So while we're here, let's just bring that starting grid up to see where the drivers are in comparison to where they started the race at this time in the race. So we have Formula One in first place, starting on pole position there. So not losing anything, not gaining anything, right where he started the race, and looking pretty good. As we have Viper here now in second place, trying to chase him down, not really that far behind anymore. Can almost see him coming around these corners. And Viper started back in 13th place, so he has gained 11 positions so far here, sitting in second place, trying to chase down Formula One. So Viper having an absolutely great game. We have Toolshed here also starting in 11th place, so he's gained quite a few positions here, 8 positions as well now, sitting in a potential podium early on in this race as well in 3rd place. And then we have Ghost here in 4th, also starting quite far back in the grid at 12, so he's gained 8 positions as well, trying to chase down Toolshed, as he has gotten around Astro there. Actually, he was behind Astro not that long ago, so we've missed that. So Astro now dropping back to 5th place and starting in 4th, so he's only down 1 position, so he's having a pretty solid race himself right now. Spider Team starting at the back of the pack now in 6th, so he's up 8 positions, trying to chase Astro down. We see Marchie Boy here in 7th as well. Marchie Boy starting the race in 10th, so he's up 3 positions right now, looking very solid. 2 straight podium finishes to start this very early season here at GT Champions GTC4, so hoping to repeat that again today with 3 podiums in a row. We have Noam here doing a fantastic job here as well in 8th place, starting in 2nd, but holding his own very well in the middle of the pack here. As you can see, it's just been battle after battle. It looks like we have a battle developing back there. We had Jet, and Jet was starting in 6th, so he's sitting in 9th, so he's lost 3 positions, but looking pretty strong. As we have a battle going on here again, as Walk has gotten around all 3 of these drivers here, now gaining a few positions back in 10th, and Walk starting in 9th place, so almost back to where he started. We had Stagman here in 11th. Stagman started in 5th, so he's down a few positions, but doing very well, holding his own again in the middle pack, as these guys have been battling very, very hard. We have Devon Calypso here in 12th at the moment. He started in 8th, so down a few positions. And we just see Picteka dive down the inside of him. There was a great move through the big bank corner there, as Calypso didn't protect that apex, and Picteka dove all over it with that Lamborghini. So he's coming up in 12th, and he started in 3rd place. So he's down a few positions here, but again, early on in the race, and Dubs here starting in 7th place. Having a bit of a tough race down to the back of the pack, but just trying to catch up, doing his thing, and keeping on with the motions here. So that's kind of where the drivers have settled compared to where we've started the race up to this point. So with that being said, let's take a quick look while the drivers are settled. Well, let's go see if there's any battles first real quick here, guys. The drivers are kind of starting to settle into their pace now. They're starting to settle into their cars. The tires are starting to wear a little bit. You know, they're starting to use fuel. So there's a lot of things starting to factor in now. The drivers aren't pushing quite as hard. We still have, you know, still have about 18 minutes till the pit window opens. So they need to take care of those tires for a little bit while longer. You don't want to push too hard. Some of these guys have been battling really, really hard. So we have Stagman here in the Mustang. And we have Dubs here in that Aston Martin. So we're going to just stick with Juan here for a moment. And we're going to bring up our top 10 drivers. That's a little small, so let's make that a little bigger for you guys. Ooh, 1 second. There you guys go. That's better. Alright, so after round 2, Formula 1 going a little bit deep into corner 1 there, and just kind of almost coming to a dead stop after corner 1 there to get himself back on track. So he does have some dirty tires here. He's going to have to watch out. Make sure he's, he came through there cautiously and good, but that does give Viper here in second place an opportunity to really start gain some time there. So he closed that gap up quite significantly, and Toolshed probably gained some time there as well. And we see Ghost here in 4th. So Astro not letting Ghost get away from him there. Spider Team just trying to make up some of that ground here, as well as Marchie Boy there in that Viper. We have a little battle between Walk and Jet here right now. So let's take a watch at this while we talk about this real quick. As Jet actually has the inside track, but Walk got the better run on the outside, so he does dip inside. Is Jet going to try and go back inside? He's really hard on the brakes there, so he's going really deep into that corner to try to get that position back, but Motorsport's doing a really good job at just getting through the corner nice and clean at a good relative pace, and didn't really need to worry about defending there. As Jet's getting a little bit wide there. Oh no, he did a good job of holding onto the car. As Calypso now is going to make a look in the inside, a little bit of contact there. Not sure if Jet realized that Calypso was there, so Calypso's going to get back in behind. As you can see him flashing his lights there, a little bit, maybe a little bit unhappy with that, but just letting him know, hey, you know, I was there. So the drivers continue on here. As now, of course, you see Stagman coming in on the back of this with that Mustang now. With those drivers making some contact. Ooh, and we're going to see Devon think about going inside the side just to tuck back in there. He is going to get the inside track coming into the double. Ooh, a little bit of contact there. Ooh, just a little bit of contact there as he wasn't able to hold his line there either. Getting into the side of Jet, so that cost Jet a couple positions there as well, as these drivers are just absolutely battling, ladies and gentlemen. They are just battling hard for these positions. And Calypso now gaining a spot there, Stagman gaining a spot, Jet losing 2, but now thinking about trying to get that one back from Stagman as he does take the better line through the corner. Stagman going really, really wide, hanging it all out there as Picteca kind of follows him through. But Picteca and that Lamborghini trying to grab that slipstream there, so he's going to catch on these drivers fairly quickly. As Jet hasn't quite got this move done yet. That Mustang has some great straight line speed, so it is absolutely showing some prowess up against that McLaren in a drag race right at the moment. And just absolutely battling, trying to get that spot back from Jet and that McLaren. As we see Picteca here is just kind of looking to try and find a way through this battle too. He's like, ooh, I want to play, I want to play. And just doing everything he can, trying to find a way through these drivers. You see him bobbing and weaving, taking a quick look. Do I have time to get through there? No, okay. No, maybe not. Hold on, which car's going to go faster? And he's going to go, ooh, they're going to split these guys. These guys are going to go 3 wide in the big banky? Oh, this is going to be fun. No, Jet backs out. He decides to tuck back in behind Stagman. Here's he going to maybe take a look at a cutback. And Picteca goes in nice and deep, so he's going to come out wide. Jet's going to cut back. He does get the position on Stagman. Is he going to get it done on Picteca? As Stagman is pushing Picteca through here. As they come in down side by side, Picteca just edging ahead, but that's going to give Jet the inside track coming into the double banker. A little bit of contact between the two drivers. Nothing major. As looking like maybe he backed off just a little bit to say sorry for the contact. Picteca now getting ahead on the outside. Jet on the inside. Stagman now taking a look here, going, okay, hold on, guys. I ain't done playing yet either. Hold on. Let me in. As he's going to go a little bit deep here. Again, just these drivers just trying not to make contact with each other. So you see them getting real close like that, and they're swerving out of the way just because of the overspeed. Some of these drivers, you know, you don't account for slipstream sometimes, and all of a sudden that car's right there in front of you, and you're like, you got to react really quickly. So you can see that's what's going on. Or some of these drivers are diving inside and outside of cars like that, just trying to get a little bit of clean air into the front end of the car so they can come into a braking zone like this. As you can see, Jet's coming in really hard on the brakes, smoking his tires. You can see the other two drivers with Picteca in the Lamborghini and Stagman in the Mustang. You don't see any tire smoke coming from their tires into that braking corner. They're not coming in as quick and braking as hard. So right now, Philly Jet is absolutely working his tires, trying to just battle these two drivers for position right now. So a great battle here this is a battle for 10th place, 11th and 12th right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is just some great battles going on track. And now you see Noam here. Not sure what happened. Oh, we caught down. Oh, hang on to it, buddy. Good job. Hangs on to it. Back on track, and away you go. So to get back up to the front here, we are back with Formula One. And we got high pre-liveries are pretty. Thanks, Spider Team. Go Marchie. And we got Marchie Boy fans up in the house. That's what we like to see. And we got Viper in second. So let's see. These drivers can actually see each other now. So I'm not sure if Formula One can really see. Let's see if we can get a view here. So this is what it looks like behind Formula One inside the car right now. He can't quite see Viper coming down that. Oh, there he goes. Now you can see him. So you know you can absolutely see Viper in the rearview mirror. You can actually see the third place driver there as well, maybe starting to make some ground. So let's go to Viper on board here. There we go. And see what he sees as he's now trying to chase down Formula One. So he can absolutely see our first place driver, Formula One, up ahead of him in that McLaren. So that always gives the driver a little bit extra want to push harder when you can see the next car you're trying to gain a position on. So these potential great battle brewing here as Viper is absolutely gaining time on Formula. Oh, this is such a great view, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Absolutely love this view in Gran Turismo here. And then, of course, you have you look behind there, and just off in the distance, that little speck you can see back there is our third place driver, Toolshed. So, can Toolshed, Toolshed can just see Viper in front of him there. Just going around corner 3 there. So, a lot of determination from all 3 of these drivers now. As you can see them pushing, they can actually all 3 see. So, Toolshed can see the second and first place driver here as he comes around the corner. So, things are heating up, ladies and gentlemen. And then we have Ghost here in 4th place. He's been trying to catch up to this front pack for a while now. I'm not sure if he's really gaining any ground. Let's jump in and see if he can see any of these guys as he comes down the hill here. I don't think so, but looks like 3rd place driver's just getting around Big Bank. He cannot quite see the drivers in front of him yet, but they're just about in sight. So we do have Astro here. Let's do the same. As Astro can't quite see Ghost coming into the Big Banky, can you see him coming out? Nice apex there. No, Ghost is just around the corner there. So again, not a lot of separation between our top 5 drivers at the moment. So really good stuff by these drivers. And then we have Spider Team here who's really made up some ground as well. In 6th place now, just coming through the Big Bank corner as well. Nice apex there from Spider Team, maximizing as much of that track on exit as he can. Use that little bit of a downhill section, of course, into that hill to gain a little bit of free speed too in the car while you're at it. We have Marchie Boy now coming through Big Banky, and he has Devon Calypso just in behind him here as well in that Renault. So maybe a little battle brewing between these 2 drivers here for 7th and 8th place as well, as we're starting to get through. We're through a third of the race now, ladies and gentlemen. So the pit window's going to open in just under 10 minutes here. So in about 5 minutes, we'll drop that banner. Oh, I forgot the standings, you guys. Dang, my bad, my bad. And these guys have been battling so hard, I haven't even had a chance to look. My apologies, you guys. And then we have Calypso here trying to gain on Marchie, but that Viper showing its strength in the straight line right now against that Renault. But the Renault gets a really good run out of the corner there, so he's actually going to go inside on Marchie. And it looks like Marchie didn't get the best run out of that corner, as that Viper should have been easily been able to pull back up beside that Renault. But the Renault is going to absolutely make this stick coming through these next couple of corners here, as the Renault is just so much more nimble through the technical sectors than that Dodge Viper is. But Marchie Boy is doing a really good job of sticking on the back end of Calypso here. So now Calypso has retained 7th place. And Marchie Boy absolutely just pushing to try and catch up to him, as Calypso's like, yeah, I'm trying to get out of here, my guy. So they are going up to Big Bank. So let's see if Marchie Boy makes a move as we come back into this Big Bank corner here, as we're on lap 21. So this is approximately about a 60 to 61 lap race, depending on the pace of the drivers. And Marchie Boy gains a great amount of time there as he gets a really good drive out of the exit of the Big Banky. Great corner there by Marchie Boy, as any time that Calypso did make up there was just taken away by Marchie. So we're going to get back to that. We're just going to go through the field. So we see Stangman and Picteca here not letting each other get away from each other. Stangman is just chasing Picteca down hard right now. So, little battles developing all over the racetrack here, as we have Jet and Noam battling here for 12th and 13th places. No matter where we look on the racetrack, there's something happening. And Noam just edging Jet out there as well in that NSX. So the NSX doing a really good job of keeping that McLaren behind him here. Let's see how it happens, as Jet's really, really good on that curb there. He's taking a really interesting line through these 2 corners here today. He's the only driver I see taking kind of a midline through those corners, and I'm not sure if that's actually faster or slower for him, or maybe it's just something to do with the tire saving. But as we know that he has been absolutely hard on the brakes coming into this first corner, as we're about to, as we'll watch here. Let's see if he's really hard on the brakes like that again coming into corner 1 here, as it seems like he's just, yeah, he's really gets hard on the brake, and it just kind of lets the car coast through the corner there. But by doing that, you're really putting a lot of wear on your tires. So yeah, I think he's losing a little bit of time there, but doing a really good job, as we see the leaders coming around Dubs here. As Dubs is having a little bit of a tough race here today, but still on track, still putting it through the motions. We see Viper has really closed the gap up on Formula One here. So let's get into a little there we go. Let's get into this view right here, as we see Viper trying to chase Formula One down here. And as you can see there on the rear spoiler of Formula One's car, they're Expendables. Formula One driving, of course, for the Expendables racing team here. So, go Margie. Hope Ghost wins. Let's go. Go F1. My wheel came off. Oh no. And Viper is just really just trying to catch Juan. Yeah, he was really close at one point there, but that McLaren is showing his prowess again up these long straightaways where speed really comes into play. As you can see, Formula One's actually on a purple sector here right now. So we're just going to stick with this little battle as this brewing behind him. You can see the third place driver not too far off in the distance as he's coming around the second part of that double corner there. And looking like they just caught a glimpse of the fourth place driver in there as well. So a little battle maybe starting to develop here within the leaders. Ooh, and Formula One getting a little bit of grass. They're doing a really good job of keeping the car underneath of them there. That's going to give Viper a better run coming out of the final corners. We're on lap 24 now, ladies and gentlemen. And let's see what happens as we come into the braking corner. As you see Viper really coming in later on the brakes, gaining a lot of time there. And we can see Toolshed not that far off in the distance as he's just coming around turn 2 there as well. So let's jump on board with Viper here as we're looking behind Viper as he's trying to chase Juan down. As now you see Toolshed starting to close the gap ever so slightly on these two drivers as they're trying to battle for P1 here as well. So some good racing going on here all throughout the pack today, ladies and gentlemen. And a little perspective from our cameraman on track here as well. You know, that gap is not that big. You know, a really good corner there by Viper. As you can see him really close that gap. He was probably about a second behind, 5 or 6 tenths of a second behind right now on Formula One. So Viper is starting to put all kinds of pressure on Formula One here as we get into the later stages of the first stint of the race here. And again, ladies and gentlemen, some of these drivers started on softs and some of these drivers started on mediums. So there are some different strategies here in play today. So we'll have to see how this is going to work out for the drivers as the race progresses into the second stint after all the pit windows have finished off. And we have Pikteka here in 10th with Stangman still right there on the back end of him, not letting them go anywhere. And we have Noam here now on the back end of these two drivers as well. And Jet losing a little bit of time there now on the back end, trying to catch back up to the back end of these three drivers. And then we have Dubs here as well as Formula One and Viper and Toolshed all coming through the corner almost at the same time now. Just in sync here. Boom, boom, boom. There they are. And then Ghost is a little bit behind here yet still. And Spider Team now up in 5th place as well. So Spider Team getting around Pancake at some point here over the last few laps as well. So Pancake dropping down to 6th place in that Scirocco there. Tire wear maybe playing a small factor there for him. As we have Calypso in 7th having a strong race. We have Walk Motorsports having a very strong race here in 8th place as well, as we've seen him come back from having to pit for damage all the way from the back of the field. So managing to catch back up to this pack and get back up into the mid-pack there. Marchie Boy sitting in 9th. We have Stangman in 10th now getting around Pikteka there somewhere. Man, you just can't leave anything on this racetrack. Every time we go through our drivers, something has changed. So somewhere along the way, Stangman's gotten around Pikteka, quite potentially in the Big Bank corner most likely. And Noam now trying to come back up on the back end of Pikteka here, as he just opts to take a very tighter line there to try and get a wider exit. And you can see it actually looks like it's worked for him there, as he has gained just enough time to get into the slipstream of that Lamborghini up ahead of him there. And let's see what happens as the drivers come through corners 1, 2, and 3 here, as Pikteka trying to close the gap up on Stangman. Noam trying to close the door on, close that gap up on Pikteka as well here. Lost my train of thought there for a second as we see Jet here and Dubs. So we are getting close to the pit window, so as promised, we're going to drop that banner. So let's take a look at our tires and our fuel for all our racers here. So we are with our leader, Formula One. As you can see him catching up to what looks to be Philly Jet there up ahead of him. So his tires not in greatest shape, but not too bad. So Juan opting to start on the softs on pole position there. And as we can see, he's starting to catch up to Jet there. And looking pretty good on fuel. We have Viper here in that BMW, and his tires are looking worn. As you can see, Toolshed now putting all kinds of pressure on him, but looking pretty good on fuel as well. But those soft tires are definitely screaming at him. And we have Toolshed here also opting to go on the soft tire, but his soft tire is looking much, much better than the driver in front, which is why you can see him now putting pressure on that driver, as that BMW just doesn't have the same amount of grip he had earlier on in the race. So, oh, I don't want to leave this battle right now because I feel like, there it is. So Toolshed is going to take a look inside, coming through the final corner as Viper gets stuck in behind traffic a little bit there. Now, that's the way it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Lap traffic is not obligated to get out of the way of the race car drivers. It is up to the faster drivers to find a safe way around a slower car. The slower car is not responsible to move completely off the racing line in an unsafe manner to let these drivers through. They are allowed to race their race, and that's what we saw there. Viper just decided to follow him through, and it almost kind of looked like Jet maybe did slow down there to let him go by, as we see Ghost coming through in second place there. What's his tires looking like? His medium's not, he's on the medium tire, so he is the first driver in the front of the pack on the medium tire. And they're looking pretty worn too for a medium tire. We have Spider Team now, the next driver, also on a medium tire. His tire's looking really good now, McLaren. His fuel situation looking good. And Ghost fuel situation looking just a little bit less than Spider's. We have Pancake here. His softs are worn, ladies and gentlemen. They are looking tough. They're looking about as good as that BMW's car up front there. So maybe a little bit of reason why he's just losing a little bit of pace on the front drivers at the moment. So he opting to stick it, but his fuel is just fantastic. So that's going to save him a ton of time in pit lane. Then we have Calypso also opting to start on the soft tire as well, ladies and gentlemen. So he was somebody who started somewhere in the mid-pack there. And so different tire strategies from the drivers here. As we've seen, some of these drivers maybe thinking about just trying to get an early jump up to the front of the pack and try to drive away. So not too bad a shape. Not quite as good as the other Renault a little further up ahead of Toolshed's, but really good on fuel as well, that Renault. And then we have Motorsport. He's in that Toyota 86, and his fuel situation is not good. He is right on fuel. His tires look fantastic, but his fuel not looking so good with this Mustang. Interesting to see what this Mustang's doing here in ninth place. He's holding a pretty good spot there. He's been battling. The tires look not too bad at all. And fuel's getting there. Fuel's getting there. So we have Noam here in that NSX. His tires, he's also on the soft tire. Looking a little worn, but fuel looking very, very good. And Piteka in that Lamborghini, ooh, he has some engine damage here. I'm not sure what happened to Piteka here, but he is 100% suffering from full damage. So really unfortunate for him. As you can see, rear aero and full engine damage there. So he's 100% going to be pitting as soon as he comes around, as the pit window is now open, ladies and gentlemen. So no better time to pit than when the pit window opens with damage like that. Good timing. So Marchie Boy here going around him now in 11th. Has already pit. Now on the soft tire, looking for a big undercut there. Dubs on the medium tire. Fuel's looking really good. Tire's a little bit worn, as we see Formula One just coming around him there. And Jet has now also taken his soft tire stint. So a couple drivers have pit very early on in the pit window here. So we do have Viper in the lead now because Juan has pit. Toolshed has taken second. Ghost has taken third. So we see Viper now coming in behind Noam here as they both come into pit lane at the same time. You can see Viper is just trying to hurry him through the pit lane a little bit. Hurry up, hurry up. Every second counts. So you're doing a good job there not to make an incident on the pit lane there. So we're just going to stick with Viper as he comes out here. See where he comes out as he's going to the medium tire. Got to fill that baby up with some fuel. Make sure you got some fuel for the race. Alright, and we are off, ladies and gentlemen. So he comes out in 4th place. So he actually comes out in a really good position here. As you can see him just going around Noam there. So the driver's getting a little bit mixed up here. So we have Spider Team here in 5th. He has not pit yet. We have Calypso here, he probably should pit pretty soon. We see Motorsport going into the pit just in the back here. We have Pancake, who has now taken his fresh set of tires and some fuel. We see Stangman here has not pit yet. He is most likely going to probably pit in the end of this lap. As you can see, his fuel gauge is now flashing in the red as well. So he will be looking to take his. He's going to go around one more time. No, he's got enough for one more. So he's going to go around one more. Marchie Boy on the fresh tires. So Dub's now up in 11th, Jet now in 12th. We have Picteca in 13th, so some fresh tires and some fresh fuel and a new engine in that Lamborghini. Man, those guys work fast. And Noam here just in the back of the pack, of course, after his pit as well. So our leader for the time being is Toolshed. On those softs, still has yet to pit. Try to take advantage as much of that soft tire as he can that he has left while he has it. The window is open for another 6 minutes. As we can see, driver Ghost just coming through the first corner. So Toolshed has a fairly sizable gap on Ghost in second place at the moment. As we see, Ghost is on that medium tire there. And Formula One is currently in third place. But again, all the drivers have not finished a round of pit stops yet. So the drivers will settle back into their racing positions once all the pit stops are completed. We see Viper sitting in fourth for the time being. We see Spider Team in fifth. Now starting to catch up to all of these drivers as well. And we just seen Calypso come into the pits there, as Astro is now making his way around here in 7th at the moment. Stangman's still out as well in 8th. He's most certainly probably going to have to pit this time around. See if he takes a wide line coming through the final corner here. No, looks like he's getting ready to pit. He's going to pit. All right. Great pit entry right there by Stangman, ladies and gentlemen. As we see Calypso also getting his fuel. We see Marky Boy here. I'm not sure why the camera changed on itself, but it did. And we see Motorsport trying to make a move on Marky Boy here. So this is a battle for position right now on track. So Motorsport does have the inside line coming into corner 1 here, as he does get around him. Is Marky Boy going to respond with a cutback here? He does take the line for the cutback, but Motorsport does a really good job of just closing the apex off there, not giving the cutback opportunity to Marchie. So, good job by Motorsport as he does start to try and drive away. And both drivers on the same compound of tires, so there's no tire advantage between those two drivers there, as we see Jet in 12th on a fresh set of tires, but suffering some damage. And Picteca now as well, Noam, Toolshed. So, you can see his fuel's now in the red. His tires are starting to wear. We see him just getting around Walk Motorsports there. So Walk Motorsports should get the lead lap back after Toolshed pits here. We're just going to stick with our leader here until he comes around. I do suspect that he's probably going to be thinking about pitting this time around, as he does have a whole train of cars starting to catch up to him here. So when that starts to happen, sometimes it's best just to take your pit, just get out of the situation altogether, and that is exactly what he's going to do. He decides just not to put himself in that situation with the guys on the fresh tires, get into the pits, go get his tires, and continue on. So with Toolshed now pitting, that will put Formula One back, should put Formula One back in the lead of the race. So we will stick with Formula One as he starts to come around the final corners here, and see if he comes out ahead of Toolshed or not. And it does appear that he will come out ahead of Toolshed before Toolshed can get out of the pit. So Formula One will retain the race lead. Viper coming across in second. Toolshed just coming out behind Viper there in third place. Spider Team now in fourth. So Ghost pitting a lap sooner by the looks of it. So Ghost now on his fresh tires as well. We have Astro here now in 6th, Calypso in 7th, Motorsports in 8th, Marchie Boy in 9th, Jet in 10, Stangman in 10th, Jet in 11th, again with that front aero damage. We have Picteca here. We'll get a little bit of grass there coming around in corner 3, no problem there, holding the corner, nice and wide, let it down, he'll take car speed. Good corner there by Picteca. Noam trying to chase him down. We have Dubs coming in for his pit. I believe the only driver left to pit will be Spider Team, and he is going to absolutely stretch it right to the end of the pit window here today. So, with that being said, we're going to put that juicy banner back up, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that's right. The banner does have to go back up. And we are halfway through our broadcast, and we haven't shouted out our sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. So, my bad. There's just been so much action on the track here tonight that it's just eluded me. So, massive shout out to our main sponsor here, Detailing Group, ladies and gentlemen. You can find them at www.detailinggroup.com. And our other major sponsors, of course, Metropolis, www.metropolis.com. And then we have Hypre, as you can see on the graphic up above, how to contact Hypre for graphic design, and Pride of the Dragon. I believe it's www.prideofthedragon.com. And that is an event that our Division 2 broadcaster, Tatiana, puts on every year. It's a really great event to learn more about it. It's all about car culture, just having a good time, hanging out, having some fun. And if you really want to learn more, go check it out. It really looks like a great event there in the United States. So Ghost sitting here on a fastest lap at the moment with a 1:28.017. So Ghost looking like he's on a mission at the moment on those soft tires. Spider team now coming out of the pits. He is going to come out of the pits looking like settling in 5th place. So after all our pit stops are done, let us see where we're at in our position. So Formula One's still in the race lead. So Formula One's been leading the race for basically the whole race. Of course, with a little bit of conjuncture. Ooh, as he gets a little bit deep into or early into that corner. I wonder if he's going to get a penalty there for that or not. It doesn't look to be that way. Very fortunate not to get a penalty there, as we see Viper there trying to now catch up to him as well. And again, all of these 3 drivers on the harder compounded tire now, as they have drivers trying to make up that ground behind them. So we see Ghost here on the soft tire. He's just coming up to the back of the straightaway. We just seen the drivers come through, so he is catching up to that group fairly quickly, it looks like. And Spider Team also on the sauce, now making his march forward to the front of the pack as well. And then we have Astro here, kind of all alone at the moment there, in a good spot in that Scirocco. He can really start to push that car for a while in those mediums. Some nice clean air, put down some good clean lap times. We see picking up a penalty there as well, cutting the curb a little bit, so you see him just shake a couple tenths off as he's coming through the corners here. It's actually really tough at pace to shed penalties on this racetrack because it's such a fairly high-speed flowing racetrack. So you really got to pick your moments when you're going to bleed that penalties. We can already see he's going to take the opt to go outside, give the position up to the 2 drivers behind to get rid of that penalty. So Marchie Boy and Calypso gaining a position there on Motorsports just due to that penalty. But good job leading it in a nice safe manner there by Motorsports. So Calypso here in 7th. We've got Marchie Boy now in 8th. We've got Motorsport in 9th. Stangman in 10th. Ooh, Picteca eating a little bit of dirt there as we see Jet in 11th. We just seen Picteca hitting the dirt there in the kitty litter just behind Noam there, coming around the big Banky Boy. So dropping back to 13th there. And hey man, no sandcastle making while we're racing. Come on, brother. And we got Dubs here in 14th, still on track, still putting in some good laps here, ladies and gentlemen. So he's doing a good job. He's been struggling a little bit today, but absolutely doing everything he can to get back into the fight here. So great job by all the drivers today. Again, these guys have put on a fantastic race. And wow, whew, I haven't really had a whole lot of time to stop talking, to be honest. That's not what we meant. We meant to. I hit the wrong key. You didn't see that. There it is. We're just going to move that off the screen for now so you guys get the full effect of what's going on track here, so you guys can see the radars and everything going on. So we still have Formula One here in first place with Viper bearing down on him. So let's go on board here with Juan and just kind of see what Juan sees right now, as Stangman's kind of in this battle too. Now Stangman's lap traffic, ladies and gentlemen, but with that being said, that Mustang behind these two drivers is again on the soft compounded tire, where these two drivers are on the medium compounded tires. So he could very well factor into this battle for first place just because he's on a faster compounded tire and only a lap down. So absolutely allowed to battle these guys for that position pack as long as he can do it in a safe manner and maintain the pace. So we'll see what develops there as Stangman tries to kind of catch up on the back of this group to get back on the lead lap here. And we don't run into that situation. Oh, as we see him maybe trying to make a move here. Oh, he took a look. Viper did take a look on the inside there. Oh, he's eating a lot of curve. Viper is really pushing. Viper really wants this win. You can see it. You can see it. You can see it. When you can smell the exhaust of the car in front of you, it makes you want to go. As you can see him flash his headlights a little bit there. He is in the slipstream here now, so this is what it looks like when a car gets in your slipstream, ladies and gentlemen. This is how quickly all you see is front end of the car. And a really good job at braking in time as he really gets tucked up. He is going to be all over Formula 1. Oh, this is a great battle, chat. We have got to get into Viper in chase cam right now. Let's see this battle from his angle. Oh, what a great battle these two are having, ladies and gentlemen, for the lead of the race. Viper absolutely battling with Juan, doing everything he can to keep Viper behind him. These guys are having a great battle. What a great battle for P1 at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, as we see Viper now sizing up his next opportunity here. As you can see him just trying to keep enough clean air in that BMW there to just have what he wants for braking. Get the good, you see him just a really quick short shift break there. He wants a really big run. He goes wide and he is all over the back of Formula 1 here right now, coming into corner 1. Is he going to go inside here? He is absolutely going to try and go inside, and it looks like Formula 1 is just going to back out of that situation. No, they're going to go side by side. They're going side by side. Corner 1. One takes a really tight entry, and he actually manages to come out in front of Viper. What a battle these two are having. Wow. This is for P1, ladies and gentlemen, and the 10th place driver, Stangman, who is just put down by a lap by these drivers, is just hanging out the back watching all this happen. Oh, he's just like, come on guys, one of you guys make a mistake, let me get by you. So Viper and Juan now coming into the big bank. We cannot leave this battle. This is an absolute great battle for leaders. Viper's going to dive really deep inside. He's going to come out wide here. Is Juan going to get a better run? Now McLaren has good straight line speeds. You can see Juan right tucked back up behind Viper now as Juan's applying the pressure to Viper, coming into the double right-handed corners here. Is Juan going to try and get inside on Viper here? He opts just to sit. No, he takes a look. Just doesn't have the room to try and get the move done, but he does take a really defensive line there as he's trying to get that inside track on Viper, and Viper is starting to pull away there. So we do see Ghost Terror sneaking up in behind this battle now as well. So Ghost has gotten around Toolshed for third place, so the drivers on the soft compounded tire really starting to gain some grounders. You can see Ghost now starting to edge his way up to the back of this pack. Ghost dropping a 127.8 there a couple laps ago as well. Now new fastest lap on track, unless somebody has one faster that we just haven't seen, as it was a few laps ago there. So we're gonna stick with this battle up front. Let's go through this field quick. There's just so much going on everywhere. We have Noam and Picteca starting to close up on each other here as well. So let's get with this battle, as Ghost has just gotten around what looks like to be Stangman there, and you see Ghost taking that inside line on Formula 1 coming into the big banking corner here. So let's see how these guys handle this. Ghost taking a very tight line through that corner, and just holding enough room for Juan to be able to hold there, but Juan just getting a little bit into kitty litter, so made that pretty easy. Now Ghost trying to chase down the second place driver, Viper. So let's see as this battle develops here real quick, and then we're going to rip back through the field and look for that battle with our I believe it's 11th and 12th place drivers. Ghost is going to take a look inside. No, he's going to tuck in behind Viper. Viper is absolutely doing a great job defending here, as Ghost is trying to find an easy way around, but Viper's just not giving it to him. He's going to hold that apex. Ghost is going to sit in behind. Oh, Ghost is going to take a little bit of a short line here. He's going to try and get the move done in corner 1. Ghost is on the softer compound tire. Should be able to break a little bit later here. So you see Ghost just edging him out. They break about the same time, but Ghost just able to get into that corner quicker. And we're just going to stick with these three drivers because they're all nose to tail for second and third place here at the moment as we're coming into corner 3. So Ghost able to get into first place, so let's see if he can drive away from these guys now, as Juan is still all over the back end of Viper here for second place, and Toolshed is still all over the back end of these two guys, as well as all four of these drivers have been battling for that P1, P2, P3 positions, as Juan is now going to try and get inside of Viper here, and Juan actually gets a really good run, doesn't even need to stay inside, tries to get that apex. Viper just follows him through a small little tap there, but that actually helps Juan out, gives him a little extra speed coming out of the corner, and actually gives him a little bit of breathing space for Viper's. Juan now trying to chase, goes down in that Audi out front. Well, what a great battle up front here as well, ladies and gentlemen, as Toolshed is now starting to close the gap on Viper and Juan and Ghost as well. And Spider Team's just out back here in the distance. He's not out of this race yet either, ladies and gentlemen. He's coming to the big banking corner right now. The drivers have a little bit of a gap on him, but again, two of these drivers on medium compounded tires, so that should give Spider Team an opportunity to potentially catch them by the end of the race here, as we have Motorsport in 7th place here as well. Marchie Boy doing a great job here in 8th place, now trying to make his march up to the front. It's going to be interesting to see how these drivers on the soft compound tires are able to charge the drivers down ahead of them on the mediums, as we have Calypso here in that Renault trying to chase Marchie Boy down now as well. And then we have Stangman here in that Mustang. He has kind of lost out to that lead pack there all of a sudden, so just by himself running his laps at the moment. We have Picteca here in 11th now, and Noam in 12th. Those two drivers have been having a back and forth battle all race as well, and Dubs here as well in that Austin Martin, still holding strong in 14th place, 13th place, sorry, and Jet here holding strong in 14th place. So our leader currently in the race with about 20 laps to go, give or take, is now Ghost 45 in that Audi. So it's going to be interesting to see how he manages first place with drivers trying to chase him down in that front-wheel drive car, because we all know they toast the tires, ladies and gentlemen. So his job right now is going to be to absolutely try to pull the biggest gap he can before the end of the race when those tires really start to fall off on that car, and they will. So Viper and Juan now swapping positions for 2nd and 3rd. Viper now back in 2nd place. Juan now trying to chase him back down and get P2 back. So and Toolshed's just sitting off in the distance, just waiting, just pushing to get closer. And we do see Stangman just off the back end of this pack too. I apologize. I thought he was off in no man's land. There was just the way the camera was looking at him, I guess. But not too far off the back of this battle here either. So and we have Spider Team now starting to come through the final sector. So Spider Team is starting to gain some time here on these drivers as well. Now coming through, really grabbing a little chunk of that apex, come through nice and wide, get as much speed as you can. A great corner there by Spider Team. And Astro now coming through that final sector, having a really good race there in that Scirocco as well. Still maintaining a good position there in 6th place himself on those meets. So it's Motorsport here in 7th. We've got Marchie Boy. And the drivers, you know, there's battles that are going to develop here, ladies and gentlemen. As we can see, you know, the drivers aren't overly far apart from each other. And Picteca looking like he went a little bit deep into corner 1 there, just getting back on track. And away he goes. So now giving Noam a chance to catch back up to him as well. And then we have Dubs here sitting in 14th, so 13th, sorry, and Jet in 14th. So Ghost now coming around the final corner, seeing him really taking a lot of that apex there, really trying to optimize the track right now in that car. As we see him come across there with a 129.2, so a little bit of a slow lap there compared to some of the times. We have Formula One here. His time's looking pretty consistent as well. The key to these 90-minute races, ladies and gentlemen, really is consistency, as Viper's now trying to get 2nd place back from Formula One. These guys are crazy. They keep swapping positions. I can't look away. Okay, we're going to stick with this for a minute, you guys, because the moment I look away, they're going to swap 2nd place again. There's just so many battles on the track today. This has been a really fantastic race with all the different cars on track. Cars showing their weaks and straightnesses, and depending on where on the track they are. And drivers just absolutely putting it all on the line today, trying to get every little bit of racetrack positioning they can on the driver ahead and behind them. So Viper here in 3rd, looking like he's starting to lose a little bit of distance on Formula One here, so we'll keep our eye on that. But Toolshed is starting to gain a small amount of time on Viper, and Stangman again starting to gain on the back end of that pack as well. Again, who's a lap down, trying to potentially maybe get a lead lap back and Spider-Man trying to catch that group of drivers as well in that McLaren there. And we see Astro going a little bit wide. They're doing a good job of keeping that car together. The benefit to a front-wheel drive, when they do go off track, you can really just power through it. And as long as you don't do anything drastic with your steering, you should be able to pull out of the situation pretty relatively easily. So we have Motorsport here now moving up into 7th as well. He was in 7th earlier, my apologies. Marchie Boy in 8th. We have Calypso here in 9th place. We have Stangman in 10th. Coming up on these 4th and 3rd place driver, we have a battle. Let's go check that out. We have a battle here between Toolshed and Viper. As we see Viper going really, really wide. Toolshed's going to take advantage of that. Take that inside line. Going to get through corner 3 ahead of Viper. So, Viper making a mistake there and losing a position to Toolshed. So now Toolshed sitting back on the podium in that Renault. And we're going to have to see if Viper's going to respond. And now we see that Mustang again in 10th place, starting to close up on these two drivers. So really, really working hard to try and get back on the lead lap as these two are side by side coming into the big banking corner. I think that was just a little bit of a glitch there, ladies and gentlemen. That didn't look like contact to me at all. It just looked like a little bit of glitch. We have to keep in mind we are doing this via this is an esports thing, right? So we're doing this virtually, and with all the drivers coming from all over the world, we're on different connections, we're on different latencies, and you'll see that sometimes on the racetrack. You'll see a car bobbling back and forth, and it's just a latency. See, it's a computer thing, you know. It's a computer tech thing. But yeah, latency causes that glitching you see from time to time here, and the drivers just have to be careful when they see that. Just try to make sure that they're leaving extra room around that car, and hopefully it just settles down. Looks like it looked like it did. It was just a quick little blip of lag there. And the car settled right back down, so everything's all good there. Nothing to worry about there. As we see Spider Team working real hard to catch the top 4 drivers there as well. Astro doing a really good job at holding down 6th place. You see him coming up on lead traffic there. Motorsports now coming up on some lap traffic, back marker here as well. So interesting to see how this develops. We're going to keep our eye on it. Again, the back markers are not required to just pull out of the way of the driver, the faster car, and just give them the spot. The back marker is allowed to the racing line and allowed to run their race. It is the responsibility of the faster car to find a safe way around that car. Now, I mean, the back markers do a really good job at finding a safe opportunity to maybe just let off the throttle a little bit or take a corner a little bit wide, just to slow themselves down enough to let that faster car through, but they don't have to. They are allowed to hold their racing line, and doing a really good job here in this race with that again, as we have seen some lap traffic coming into play in some of these battles. So as you see that again, that Mustang catching back up to the second, 4th and 3rd place driver there as well as himself. So Picteca here in 11th. Noah, I'm doing a great job here in 12th place. Dubs still kicking her old school in 13th, and Jet here in 14th. As you can see, what looked like Ghost just getting around him there, coming through corners 1 and 2. So this is early on in the lap. I'm losing my voice. We're going to do a quick onboard with our leader here, ladies and gentlemen. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There was a full onboard lap at Lago Maggiore West with our leader, Ghost 45, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go take a look through the pack here. Let us see if we have any new battles brewing. as we see Formula 1 in second, Toolshed now uncomfortably in third. There's Viper's dropping back a little bit with Stangman now starting to put a little bit of pressure on Viper here on the medium tire. Again, that Mustang on the soft tires, so that is going to play a factor into how this battle develops here moving forward. And I'm not sure if Stangman's a little unsure if he's allowed to battle these guys to get that position back, because he is on the faster compounded tire. He might just be sitting back trying not to really interfere too much with what's going on, maybe just hoping for a mistake. As we see Spider Team now coming here in that McLaren, just coming around corners 1 and 2 here, taking a really good, tight, nice line through there. Coming out just on that track edge, and I mean, you really, really need to use every little bit of track you can at these Maggiore tracks, ladies and gentlemen. The track limits are fairly forgiving, so it's, you know, as a driver, racing, sim racing here in Gran Turismo Sport, you know, one of the things we do when we're looking to try and find more time is test the track limits and see, you know, if we can push our tires an extra inch out to get a better turn in on a corner, or can we take our tires an inch further out on exit, you know, stuff like that. Those do make small amounts of difference in your time in a lap here at Gran Turismo Sport, just knowing your track limits. And we've seen that from some of the drivers going around the big banky corner, our leader included, really taking advantage of that inside part of the apex, and that tends to actually help. It tends to actually help. I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain this. These front-wheel drive cars have a lot of understeer, so by taking that big banky corner kind of on that really deep inside curb, it doesn't unsettle the car as much, and you come out of the corner, I guess, in a straighter line to try and make sense of it for everybody. And because you come out of that corner in a straighter line, you don't have as much understeer in that front-wheel drive, so it's actually able to get down on the power quite a bit faster. And it doesn't actually chew the tire up too much because it's not spinning the tire with the understeer. So, front-wheel drives, ladies and gentlemen, the trick to driving front-wheel drives is really try to minimize your braking, use your shifting to really try to slow your car down, and a lot of corner coasting, because again, these cars are so hard on their front tires, much harder than these front-engine rear-wheel drive cars and these mid-engine rear-wheel drive cars, because the tire wear seems to be a little more balanced throughout all 4 of the tires on these style of cars, where those front-wheel drive cars, all the tire wear is on those front tires. They're your power tires, they're your steering tires, they're your grip tires, they're your braking tires. The engine's sitting right on top of them. All the weight is on those tires, and that's why the tires shred so quickly in a front-wheel drive race car, ladies and gentlemen. And it's actually a really bold move by 2 of these drivers in the field here, as we did see some drivers opt to try the front-wheel drive cars in Division 1, 2, and 3 as well. That was broadcast this weekend on Saturday. So we did see some guys really taking that risk with the front-wheel drive cars, and it's paid off for some, and it hasn't paid off so well for others. But at the end of the day, I guess it comes down to each driver for the car, right? Each driver feels comfortable with a specific car, and this was an open round, ladies and gentlemen. So these drivers some of these drivers probably spent days testing cars, trying to figure out what the best car for the race is going to be. Noah looking like he's getting off track just a little bit there, spinning, but getting himself back on track and back on the fight here. So good job here. We do hear somebody coming up behind him here. We're not sure who that is. Actually looks like it's the leader. Ghost is coming up on him here. As we see, Ghost is just coming around the final corner. Where is Formula 1? He's just starting to come around the double bend. So Ghost has started to open up a pretty decent gap on these drivers with that soft tire. But Formula 1 doing a really good job to open that gap up on the 3rd place driver, which is at the moment Viper. As I'm not sure what happened to Toolshed. It seems that we've lost a driver, ladies and gentlemen. It seems that Toolshed has potentially disconnected from the race here over the last lap and a half or so while I was yammering on. So Average Viper retaining 3rd place position here now, and I guess that gives Spider Team 4th place. Did he just have an incident and we've just lost him? No, we're missing 2 drivers, ladies and gentlemen. We've actually lost 2 drivers on track here. So we've lost what looks to be like Tool Shed and looks to be Jet. So really unfortunate there. We've lost 2 drivers to potentially disconnect issues here. So really unfortunate for those guys. As Tool Shed was having a really good race there as well. As we're with our leader, as he's just ripping right now. And Formula One cruising as well, trying to get away from that 3rd place driver Viper and put himself on that podium for the first time this season. And we have Viper here in 3rd place as well, doing a great job. But Stangman is not, he's just not letting him go, you know. He's really putting the pressure on Viper here. So instead of Viper focusing on catching Formula One ahead of him, he's got this back marker just putting all kinds of pressure on the back end of this BMW. This is fantastic stuff, ladies and gentlemen. This is just, you don't see this very often in racing. You don't see a driver a lap down putting that much pressure on a podium driver. That is absolutely fantastic. These guys have kept it 100% clean for what's had to have been 10 laps now, with Stangman and that Mustang just behind Viper, just chilling back there. And we see Dubs now coming up on the back of that as well. And Spider Team now in 4th place. So probably taking a look at that live timing bar at the moment, every sector, and seeing if he's gaining or losing or anything on the 3rd place driver to determine whether or not it's time to start pushing for that podium position. So Motorsport is doing a great job here now in 5th place as well, with Astro still sitting in 6th. We have Marchie Boy now moving up into 7th, with Picteca in somewhere in between everything. We have Calypso in 8th. Stangman is now in 9th. Picteca's in 10th, ladies and gentlemen. He's caught up in between some of the lead cars at the moment. We have Noam here in 11th, and Dubs again now in 12th place. So here's our leader, Ghost, in that Audi. He's just cruising right now. He's coming up on what looks to be Calypso. Yes, he's starting to come up on Calypso. So Calypso's now getting that blue flag. Let's see what happens here. See if he's feeling a little racy. Ooh, he's drifting that corner a little bit. He doesn't like the fact that the leader's catching up to him, just judging by how hard he tried to take that corner, I think. But it looks like Ghost is really catching up to him. So we're just going to stick with this. It's a battle. The lap traffic has looked a little bit racy today, so that kind of makes it fun, doesn't it, everybody? Gotta love it when the lap traffic's a little bit racy. And it looks like he's actually doing a good job at holding Ghost off there, so we're just going to keep going through the field here. He's slowly catching him there. He's probably going to get him right here in this big banking corner. As he just takes a... Yeah, just... Okay, thank you. Looking like Calypso just is opting to take the wide line and not fight that position there. So great job by Calypso. No driver really losing any time there. So let's get up to our 2nd place driver, Juan, as he's now coming through that big banking corner as well. So Formula One not letting Ghost get super far away from him here, and that could come into play with those soft tires on that Audi, as Formula One is on the mediums. They will last longer, so again, that could come back into play for that race lead yet here before the end of the race. And we have Viper here in 3rd place, starting to looking like he's pulling a little bit of space away from Stangman and that Mustang behind him here, as he's finally like, okay, I've had enough of this guy in my rearview mirror. Let's put some laps down. So Spider Team's just coming out of the big bank corner here right now. And Average Viper's just going around the 2nd part of the double banked right-hander. Spider's just coming up to it. So just kind of a reference point to see how far apart the 2 drivers are. We'll try to watch that next lap around. Pardon me, chat. My apologies. Everyone watching, I try to keep that as far away from the microphone as possible. So Marchie Boy having a great drive here in 7th place. Calypso here in 8th. We have Stangman in 9th, just behind. Whoa! Stangman getting a little bit wide there, able to keep the Mustang together there. See how he gets through here on those dirty tires now. See, nice and easy, nice and simple. And we have Ghost now coming up on the back of Picteca here. So we'll watch this for a second. This Picteca is looking very good there. Ghost really not able to get around him through the corners there, so Ghost showing some patience there as well. But Picteca is just like, yeah, deciding, I don't know, I want to have some fun here. I think I'll have some fun here. But he does let Ghost go through on the outside. There's Ghost is just going to come tuck into that inside corner. And away the boys go again. So we have Noam here, and we just see Spider Team just getting around Noam there as well. So Noam just coming around that final corner, so he is absolutely starting to make up some time here. So Formula One here in second. He's just coming into corner one. Let's see where Viper is. Viper's just coming across that start-finish line. And Spider is coming just around the start-finish line corner. So we can see that Spider Team is slowly starting to close in on Viper here. And those two drivers again battling in the top of the standings there, with Spider Team sitting in first coming into round 3 and Viper sitting in second overall coming into round 3. So those two drivers absolutely battling for top spot on that standing list at the time for the time being. So it's been quite a mixture of drivers being up on that podium so far this year. So it's going to be interesting to see as this battle develops throughout the GTC4 season here. Again, sponsored by Detailing Group, ladies and gentlemen. Detailing Group, the major sponsor here at the GT Champions World Cup Series. And, of course, other notables is Metropolis and Pride of the Dragon and High Pre, who does all the amazing graphics we see here on the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. So, Marchie Boy now under pressure from the leader, as the leader's now trying to put him on lap down as well. We have Calypso now starting to catch up to the back of Picteca. So we have some of the slower cars starting to come into play with some of the faster guys on track here today. And it's going to be interesting to see how all that develops as we move towards the end of the race, because we're sitting about 9 minutes from the finish of the race here. And we have Noam here doing a great job in 11th place. Dubs again in 12th there. So Ghost is just absolutely putting it out on the edge all the way through the racetrack here, it looks like, with that Audi. And in a couple of minutes here, you guys, we will drop the banner back so you guys can see the tire and fuel situation for all the drivers as we head into the final stretch of the race. And Formula One here in second place. Got Viper in third. Spider Team now just coming down to the big banking corners. So absolutely starting to slowly but surely reel Viper in. The Spider Team running very, very consistent times there. And I said this earlier in the broadcast that consistent lap times will always do you good in a 90-minute endurance race. It's not always necessarily about being the fastest guy on the track. It's about how consistent can you be on the track for 90 minutes. As we see Ghost now going around our 6th place driver Astro there. So only 5 cars now remaining on the lead lap of the race here today at Maggiore West, as that Audi is proving to be a very worthy opponent here today. And Calypso here in 8th place, doing a very great job. All these drivers have been doing a great job here. We've had fantastic battles throughout the entirety of the race, and the drivers all just kind of settled in now to the race here. Maybe doing a little bit of fuel saving, some of these drivers, maybe doing a little bit of strategy. We're not sure. Formula One doing a great job at keeping second place here. Again, on the medium tire, ladies and gentlemen, they still have cars behind them on the soft tire. But if I'm not mistaken, let's get on board with Viper here, because I am pretty sure, ladies and gentlemen, that is the car of Spider Team that we can see slowly starting to... No, that is that Mustang of Stangman still, just off in the background there. He hasn't gone away. I thought that was Spider Team there for a second. Alright, so Viper is just coming around, again, the second part of the big banking corner, so let's just gauge where Spider Team is. Actually, Spider Team's coming in about the same spot, so it doesn't look like he's really gained anything on Viper. So Viper doing a really good job at pacing Spider Team out on those medium tires. We have Motorsports here now in 5th place as well. Looking pretty comfortable there, as Astro now has a whole lot of Dodge Viper all over up his back end here, so let us see what happens as he goes a little bit mid-corner for the big bank corner here, as Marchi took a really tight line, but that Scirocco got an absolutely fantastic run out of the big bank right-hander there and just blows past that Dodge Viper power. So Scirocco is showing that it's got some prowess here today as well. But Marchie Boy does get inside on that first part of the double right-hander there and get that move done, and just completely takes any chance away of Astro making a move back on him. There's Marchie Boy now moving up into 6th place here in that Dodge Viper over Astro Pancake. And Calypso is all over the back end of this, so now we have a nice little three-way battle developing here. It looks like for 6th place potentially, as we're nearing the end of this race, as these drivers are absolutely closing up on each other. So let's drop this banner. Let me find the right key. Alright, so let's run up to our leader here real quick, as we're still a couple laps left to go. Take a look at the leader's tires. The leader is at about 45% front tire wear on that front left, so it is definitely hurting. But judging by those times, it doesn't look like he is letting up on those 4 tires either. We have Formula 1 on the mediums. His tires are starting to look pretty worn for medium tires, but his fuel is flashing red, where the driver up front is looking pretty comfortable on fuel there by the looks of it. So that could potentially be an issue for Formula 1 as we get near the end of the race here. We have Viper here also on the mediums, but also, as you can see, his rear aero damage there. So it might be some of the reason why he's lost a little bit of time to the 2nd place driver Formula 1 here, as he's just losing a little bit of top speed because of that aero damage. And his tire's looking about the same as the 2nd place driver up front, but he should be good on fuel. As we got Spider Team here in 4th place on those softs. His softs looking much better than the leader's softs. Only about 30% wear there, so softs looking pretty good. I mean, if he needed to battle right now, he definitely has the tire there to do it, and it sure looks like he's got the fuel to do it. So good job there by Spider Team managing his tires and fuel. We have Motorsport here in those softs. His tire's looking really good in that 86, but his fuel not looking so great. So we'll have to see if he's going to be able to make it on fuel as well. We have Marchie Boy here on the softs. His tire's looking pretty decent, and fuel looking really good in that Dodge Viper. We've got Calypso behind him on the mediums. His tire's looking pretty good in that Renault, and his fuel is fantastic. Astro's tire's looking very worn on that Scirocco, and fuel again very good. Stagman's tires are starting to fall off on that Mustang. Fuel should be okay. We have Picteca here on the mediums. Meat's starting to wear out. His fuel might be a little bit iffy as well. Noam's tires actually looking pretty good shape there, and his fuel's looking pretty decent as well. And Dubs' tires are looking pretty worn out, and his fuel, he should be okay as long as he just short shifts quite a bit getting through the rest of the race here. So yeah, let's go find a battle, chat. There we go. Looks like we got a little battle brewing between our 5th place driver and our 6th place driver, Marchie Boy and Motorsports. As you see, Marchie Boy going around Walk quite handily there. So Marchie Boy now getting the position from Walk Motorsports. Or Walk Motorsports, did he run out of fuel? I think he is just short shifting like really crazy right now, as both those drivers got around him very easily. So I think Walk realizes that he's not good on fuel, and I think he is absolutely really shut the power down on that car, as he now has Pancake bearing down on him in 8th place here as well. So again, a little bit of a miscalculation in the pit lane when they went to fuel up there. And Ghost Fuel is going to be definitely good for the remainder of the race. Tires getting pretty worn. Real easy to make a mistake when your tires start to look like that. All it takes is just a wrong little thing, and that could be a spin for a race leader. Completely change the way this race appears to be finishing here. So let us go with Mr. Formula One. Still in second place here. His fuel is looking scary though, chat. His fuel is looking scary. Viper, his fuel now flashing in the red. Spider Team has more than enough fuel. He could go another 6, 7, 8 laps yet by the looks of it, past the end of the race with that fuel. And Marchie Boy is just pushing right now. He is now up into 5th place, and again he's good on fuel as well, so probably realizing he's got a little extra fuel, deciding to push a little extra here. Mediums on Calypso's car as he's settled into 6th place now. Astro now in 7th as he's gotten around Walk as well, who is still just trying to get that car around on the fuel he's got left. Stangman here, his fuel light's starting to flash as well. Picteka's light's flashing as well. We have Noam here, his light's starting to flash. Dubs is flashing. We got some drivers that are potentially in trouble here as far as... And we see Formula One coming into the pits, ladies and gentlemen. So Formula One is having to come and pit for fuel, it looks like. And that is absolutely the case. Just a quick splash and dash for our driver in 2nd place. And that allows Viper and Spider Team to get ahead of him. And costly miscalculation at pit window, ladies and gentlemen, for the fuel. That has taken him off podium. So is he going to be able to get that podium back? As we do have the leader coming across, we see Dubs coming across on his final lap. So your winner of tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, goes 45 with a very good drive in that Audi. We are now going to go to our 2nd place driver, Viper, and see if he can hold off Spider Team now for 2nd place here in the race, as well as we can see Marchie Boy coming across in 5th. Let's try to catch some of these guys coming across our ahead here. So we have Astro coming across in 7th. We have Walks going to come across ahead of our 2nd and 3rd place driver here. As we see Picteka as well off in the distance, he is going to come across in 10th place himself. We have Noam coming across really wide. And Noam coming across there. Oh, Viper just coming across there in 2nd place, so great finish by Viper. Stangman coming across. Spider Team in 3rd, flashing his lights, absolutely pleased, and Formula One very close behind, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely great stuff. So, our final results here, ladies and gentlemen, for our race today. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. So, we did pre-record some podium interviews here, but I seem to have been having some trouble getting the audio file into my software, so I don't actually know if the podium interviews are going to work today. We'll have to see how it goes. But our race results, ladies and gentlemen, are our goals finishing in 1st, Viper in 2nd, Spider Team in 3rd, Formula One in 4th, Marchie in 5th, Calypso in 6th, Pancake in 7th, Motorsports in 8th place, Stangman in 9th, Picteka in 10th, Dubs in 11th, and it's actually Noam in 11th, Dubs in 12th, and Toolshed and Jet disconnected at some point throughout the race, we believe, so that we'll put them in the bottom of the finishing order. So, with the results being like that, let us take a look at how the standings potentially sit before official results are placed. So, potentially our standings are going to look something like this after round 3. So, we have Spider Team still maintaining the lead in GTC4 after round 3, provisionally, of course. This is unofficially at this point still, ladies and gentlemen. And he is at 50 points based off the finishing results of the race here today. And Viper still holding on to second place there as well with his second place finish here today with 46 points. We have Ghost with his win moving up ahead of Marchie Boy with 44 points. Marchie Boy dropping down a spot to fourth with 39. Calypso with 32. Toolshed in sixth with 25. Pancake with 24. Formula One with 22, Motorsports with 20, Dubs with 17 points in 10th, to round out the top 10 so far this season. Picteca very close behind, tied for 10th essentially with 17 points as well. And then in 12th is Stangman with 16, Jet with 15, and Noam with 5. So potentially that is what our standings should look like once everything is officiated. And just to take a look, based off the fastest laps on track, ladies and gentlemen, this is what our starting order is going to look like. So, we have Toolshed will take first place, and Jet taking second place on the grid due to disconnects, of course. Picteca will start third on the grid with Dubs beside him on fourth. Noah will start fifth with Calypso in sixth beside him. Marchie Boy in seventh with Stangman in eighth beside him. Astro and Spider in ninth, 10th. Formula One and Viper in 11th, 12th. And Ghost and Motorsports in 13th and 14th. So that is 100% what everything is looking like at this moment, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with us here today. As we absolutely appreciate everybody's support during the broadcast. It was a fantastic race at Lago Maggiore West, ladies and gentlemen. That was round 3 of our GT Champion GTC4 division. That race was held Saturday afternoon, and this was a rebroadcast of that race. I hope you all enjoyed the race this evening. It was an absolutely great race. There was action throughout the whole race, pretty much start to finish, and the drivers just put on a great show in GTC4. They continue to put on really great races down in Division 4 this year, and the drivers are just having an absolutely blast down there. They're having fun, and it's really great to see. So with that being said, our next round is at Yamagawa Kyoto Miyabi Driving Park in Japan with the GR3 Dodge Viper. It is going to be an absolutely interesting race. It is a massively long racetrack. It has a very large combination of high speed and technical sectors, and just in a very, very tough car to get around high speed technical sectors with. So it's going to be an interesting race next week. I hope you all tune in same time next week for our rebroadcast of the GTC4 race. And thank you everyone for tuning in. And again, ladies and gentlemen, a massive shout out to Detailing Group, our major sponsor here at GT Champions World Cup. You can find them over at www.detailinggroup.com, and our other notable sponsors as well as Metropolis at www.metropolis.com. Hypre, who we will throw up his beautiful banner we got rocking and rolling here for you guys, and that is how you guys are going to be able to find Hypre as soon as I shut off all the stuff I've got on the screen. There it is. Alright, so right at the top hand side of the screen there, ladies and gentlemen, is how you can get Hypre, and of course Pride of the Dragon, ladies and gentlemen, www.prideofthedragon.com. And this is presented by RWB Racing, and this has been a proud presentation by your host Ghost. Follow me on Facebook and YouTube at GT45 Gaming, and we appreciate all your support here at GT Champions, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody had a fantastic day, evening, and afternoon. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we will be back again next week for another great race by our Division 4 runners here at the GTC4. Have a fantastic evening, folks.